guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, it has been a rather busy week for me. I started out by making a cake, a birthday cake, 6 dozen cookies, 5 dozen cake pops. Yeah, and as I got ready to walk out the door, I cut styrofoam, so there's white little fluffy things all over the kitchen. So I have so much stuff to clean. This is quite literally my life behind the whisk. This is every time I do an order, you know, I always have the aftermath of the cleanup. So here we go. This was the cake. It was a Beauty and the Beast themed. As you can see, it is rather large. It is a 6-tier cake, and oh heavens, it was so big, so heavy, and so time consuming, but it was a lot of fun to do, and the bride and groom loved it. So right there I have a hollowed out area with obviously the rose. It's backlit with lighting, and then here it is backlit behind the leaves. And then her favorite quote in the book, favorite paragraph really, and it is printed here behind many torn pages. So, and then there was a little bit of a gravel road that we weren't anticipating, so as you can see, there's a little bit of a mess up there on the blue tier. And then of course it was an outdoor venue. Well, it was an indoor venue, but it had a great big barn door, and so there were flies coming in like crazy, and there was nothing I could do to prevent that. So that was why I was swatting a fly off, as unattractive as that may be. So yeah, this cake was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun, and I enjoy making things that are exactly what a couple wants. So, and obviously the castle is also backlit, so when it was dark, it was very, very pretty, all lit up. And as you can see, it's rather large. So yeah. And then here are the 6 dozen cake pops and the cookies. These cake pops were individually wrapped with wafer paper, and each one took about 15 minutes to wrap, and that didn't include the amount of time it took for me to color the wafer paper and cut out each one of the petals. So yeah, those took forever. And here are the pretty little cookies that she wanted. So between this order, and then I also had a birthday 2-tier and another 4 dozen cookies that were bridal cookies this week. So it was a rather busy week, but she loved everything, so it was worth it in the end. Ultimately, what I want most is just to make sure that my couple gets exactly what they're looking for, and in this case they were very happy, so I was happy. Now it's time to get down to business, and I have to start with sweeping up the major parts of the mess before I can even begin to vacuum, just because there's that much stuff on the floor. So I'm doing a quick sweep so I can get started. And I start this video out with the worst part, which is the endless dishes. And I just loaded the dishwasher with the second load of dishes, I think. I can't even remember at this point. So now here are the remaining dishes I have left. I'm rinsing them off and getting them ready because the dishwasher is just about finished, and I'm going to swap everything out again. But I had so many icing bowls and just different bowls that I was mixing colors in for the cookies and just all the things. Plus, of course, we still have our daily dishes. So, between all of that, it was just constantly, the dishwasher was just constantly being ran all weekend. So it was pretty hairy there for a little while. So if you're wondering why there's like 10 minutes of me just like constantly swapping out dishes and getting stuff wiped off the counters and then restarting again, and then of course, not to mention the fact that while all of this is going on, I pause in between loads to make dinner, and then I also have dinner dishes to clean up. So yes. And here's the funny thing, you notice my shirt? Yeah, it's inside out. I did not notice that until I started editing this video. That's how stinking tired I was from this weekend. I got up, got ready, and went to a dentist appointment. Came back home, did not notice the entire day I was wearing my shirt inside out. Yeah. I couldn't even believe it. It was just, I was just exhausted. I felt like a walking zombie. And it's funny because I notice a lot of times, especially here lately with the painting videos, it's like, yeah, she's always wearing that particular purple shirt, which the funny thing is yes and no. This shirt, no. This is actually a new one, but 90% of the time when I'm painting or doing like a deep clean or just like a clean where I might be using like a bleach or some sort of a cleaner that might stain a shirt, I go and pull out some of my older shirts, and I do have 2 of these shirts that are older that have like got small holes or whatever torn in them, so I now recycle them and use them as like my paint shirts or my cleaning shirts. And I have a couple of other shirts that I wear pretty frequently because those are the shirts that I go and pull out when I don't want to mess any of my other clothes up. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. I kind of noticed that as I was scrolling through some of my other videos, and I thought, yeah, it looks like that's all I ever wear. But yeah, I have 3 of them, and this one I actually hardly ever wear. It's the other 2 that I wear that are paint covered. Anywho, so just something I noticed, and I couldn't help but laugh at myself. I was like, I cannot believe I wore that inside out all day yesterday. Man, the people at the dentist office must have been like, what is she doing? And the funnier part to that is it's at the clinic where my husband works. My husband wasn't there because he had to go to another clinic, or else I'm sure he would have said something, but oh goodness, yeah, that's all right.
Coming home. Oh. I am done. I will stay to find every hidden sign.
One of the things that makes being an at-home baker really difficult is that, I'm working in my own kitchen. I'm not working in a bakery kitchen and then, making the mess there. I'm making it in my own kitchen. So I can't just go home after at the end of the day, after I get done, and then I'm coming home to my own space, and my own space being clean. I have to clean up my space again, because my space is tore up from all of the things that I've done for work. And so it really does get, like a blurred line, and it can sometimes just be really exhausting and just can really kind of mess with your mind a little bit, because it's like all you want to do is just relax in your own space and just take a deep breath, because you've been working for days on end, and and then you have all of this to do. And I think it's something that a lot of people don't understand about making cakes or baking out of your home, especially if you're making something as large as what I made. The amount of dishes that you accumulate and that you're constantly going through is just astronomical. And it's just, you almost can't even stay on top of it. I mean, even my husband was running loads for me through the week, just trying to help me, and it was so hard to stay on top of. But it really does kind of start to blur the line between work and home, and sometimes that can really kind of mess with you a little bit. I've actually stopped taking as many orders as what I have, or what I used to, just because it was just starting to get too much, and all I wanted was a clean home. All I wanted was to be able to come home and be in my space and everything be cleaned back up. I just wanted my home to be my home. So I've stopped taking as many orders, and honestly, I've kind of really enjoyed more just doing my videos. Count the number of coffee cups there. Can you see what I was living on this week? And that was just in the last couple of days. So anyway, yeah, I'm not doing as many orders as what I used to, just because it starts to blur the line. But I am enjoying more so doing the videos, and honestly, I would really like to start to get as many subscribers as possible, so that I can kind of grow my channel. I really do enjoy cleaning. I mean, I genuinely enjoy cleaning, and I am trying to learn how to make the videos a little bit better and show different angles, and really show that hey, I'm not just cleaning a clean house. It really is, when I'm cleaning it, it really is truly dirty, and that is something that I've noticed it is hard to capture on video unless you really get up close, which is why I kind of tried to show up close a little bit on like the vacuuming and just like the floor in general, or like the countertops and stuff, trying to show a little bit different angles and stuff, and just show how much stuff is actually on there or has accumulated. Just because, yeah, I mean, if you were to see it in person, you'd be like, oh heavens, that is quite the mess. And what's funny is I had done an order. One of the orders that was for pickup was actually for a lady who lives in our housing addition, who cleans our house, I'd say maybe once or twice a year. I usually ask for help around the holidays, getting some of the deep cleaning done before and or after family comes in or whatever. And anyway, she just kind of laughed, and she said, oh Kim, she's like, I'm so sorry. She said, yeah, you've got your hands full, because she just she knows how I am. I'm very particular, and I don't like my house dirty at all, and I like things to be in their place and organized, and you very much cannot have that while you're in the middle of making cakes or cookies or whatever it is that you're making, because everything just gets so tore up, and you're using so many different things, and it's not a bakery, it's your house, so you only have so many surfaces you can place things while you're making them, so it very quickly becomes a disorganized mess. So anyway, yeah. So now I'm working on dinner dishes. I am nearing the end of the dishes. As you can see, I have all of my mats. They're hanging over my chairs, drying. My cookie mat, my fondant mats, everything I'm starting to get to the bottom of all of the things, so that I can start getting all of my surfaces cleaned and all of the dusting done, and all of that fun stuff. And it is nearing bedtime, so my husband and my son will be going to bed soon, and I think this is probably, even though I don't particularly like to stay up late, when I'm tired, because like I said, I was pretty exhausted from the weekend, but I feel like I kind of get my second burst of energy in the evenings or late at night. And even though, I might be ready for bed or whatever, I do like to clean later at night. Or, it's kind of like when you have the house to yourself during the daytime, you want to clean and get things done more so. But you can kind of do the same thing at night, when everybody kind of goes to bed and it's dark outside and it's calm and it's peaceful, and you can turn some background music on, which I actually do. I have rain ambiance on from the Hogwarts Castle at the Universal Studios. I wanted something that was sort of fall-like, and even though the one I was looking for was like a pumpkin and inspired one, I stumbled across that one, and it had the nice calming thunderstorms and rain and in the background, and just kind of over the top of music, and it was just nice and calming and soothing. It just sort of, honestly, the time sort of slipped away from me. At the very end of the night, I went to go let the cats back in, and I set the alarm off because I didn't realize how late it was. I didn't realize that the alarm had already set, and I was like, there's no way. And I looked at the clock, and it was like, oh, it's almost midnight. Whoops. So yeah, you just kind of get in the zone, and you just, I don't know, it's almost like you go on autopilot and you can get so much more stuff done. I don't know what it is about the nighttime, not being able to see, out the windows. It's dark and just, I don't know, very cozy and calming, which is why I'm starting my diffuser now and getting the nice scents in the house. And yeah, it's just nice and cozy. So I will stop talking for a little while. Anybody else have Pokemon cards everywhere around their house? Scotland decided that he wanted me to play a Pokemon game with him and his dad, and so he brought me my cards, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of right in the middle of an order, and it's probably not going to stop for several days. And so as I'm cleaning up, I find them still sitting there. So I actually think I'm going to go ahead and start Halloween decorating. Sorry if you can hear growling. My two cats are on the bed beside me and they are playing. So I think I'm going to start decorating for Halloween at the beginning of October. I really wasn't going to decorate for Halloween just because I'm kind of enjoying my fall decorations. And immediately after Halloween, I mean, when I say immediately, I mean immediately after Halloween, like I'm passing out candy and taking down Halloween decorations on the inside of the house, because for me, Christmas decorating starts November 1. So I am like crazy excited about that. But anyway, I think this next week I'm going to go ahead and decorate for Halloween, and I will be getting that video out. And I think tomorrow I will be finishing up I think it's the third color of my bedroom/bathroom. Anyway, I will be finishing that up, and then that video will also probably be coming out next week. So there'll be a couple of different videos coming out this next week. So what is your favorite time of day to clean? What are your cleaning schedules like? Let me know in the comments. I am curious to know, just because I struggle constantly. I feel like just to try and maintain a schedule, to try to stay on top of things. I want desperately to just have like a cleaning schedule that, where everything stays kind of on top of and picked up. And as you can see, I mean, my house is like anybody else's house. It's constantly in process of being tore up. And yeah, there's my cat playing with the door stopper. Sorry. So yeah, my house is constantly in the process of being tore up, and it's constantly in the process of being picked back up. So I think that is most people with kids and or pets. So, but yeah, no, I'm curious to know, do you have a cleaning schedule that works best for you? I mean, do you have like, Mondays I do bathrooms, Tuesday, I do bedrooms, or, I'm just curious, or do you just kind of go through the house and just do like a tiny little pickup every day? I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. I've noticed on a couple of other people's channels, they have, their morning cleaning routines or their nighttime cleaning routines. And as much as I'd like to say I have a set in stone cleaning routine for morning and night, I really don't have a set in stone one. I just sort of pick up as I go. Yes, I'm stepping on my cushions. I saw this on My Crazy Life. Amanda was saying how she steps on her. Somebody had told her to do it, and it fluffs their cushions back up. And y'all, it works. So anyway, that's why I was doing that. But yes, let me know. Let me know what you think about your cleaning routines. And if you found something that works, by all means, I would love to know, because the way I clean is sort of just the way that my mind works, which is all over the place. Sometimes I manage to stay in a certain space and just get it all done. But my mind sort of just goes everywhere. So, as I'm picking things up and I run from room to room, while I'm in that room, I'm like, oh, but you know what? Hey, I'm in here. Just let me go ahead and pick this up real fast, or grab this or that, or, whatever the case may be. But I'm always trying to like multitask, and it drives my husband crazy because he doesn't understand the logic behind it. But I think that a lot of times, especially moms, we have a tendency to clean that way, just because our minds are constantly going 100 miles an hour, and we just kind of do things as we see it, and then sometimes we might get off task, but we always find our way back and finish what we're doing eventually. So at least that's the way I do. So I had said previously in my next cleaning vlog that I would talk about this new wet vac, and I love it. It is the Mach V1 Ultra, and it's a 3-in-1. It can mop, vacuum, and steam, and I loved my Tenneco. I really had no intention of getting rid of it. The only downside was that it just didn't have a long enough run time for the size of my house. And especially with, I mean, you guys see with doing cakes, the icing and the food coloring, and I mean, I need to be able to clean my house for long runs at a time. And so I needed something with a longer run life, and I was intrigued by the 3-in-1, and so I had seen a review on it, and I thought, you know, I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. And my Tenneco was essentially brand new, so my mom has it now, and this one, I really do like it. I mean, I can literally be mopping and vacuuming, obviously, because it does it at the same time, and then I can switch over to the rug, and with the press of a button, it's no longer dispensing water. It's just suction, so it's just vacuum mode. I can stand it upright for a sec, let the water heat up, and it can be in steam mode if I run across something that I need to steam up off the floor. And I can easily switch back and forth between all of those modes just simply with the click of a button. And honestly, this my rugs and stuff, I keep it in smart mode so that it's always using the water, because it's not like it puts down a tremendous amount of water, but it does clean really well. And the thing about it is it also don't expect me to explain the technology here, but it does kill 99.9% of germs and bacteria, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly how, but I do know it sanitizes 99.9% of the surface area, and it actually has a gauge. So while you're vacuuming or mopping or whatever, it has like a gauge, and if it's in the blue, then it's showing that it's constantly just as it's cleaning, it's like mild levels. And then as it dips over into the red, sometimes it'll give a burst of like energy because it's detecting that there's higher levels on the floor, and so it's trying to constantly clean it up, which is interesting because if I go for longer spurts, because typically I use it every day, so if I go for longer spurts like this week in between using it, oh heavens, like this thing was constantly in the red, which is, it's crazy, right? Because that means there's all of this extra germs and bacteria and things on the floor. And so anyway, this thing is amazing. I love it, and I couldn't be happier with it. But now we are done picking things up for the night. It's not perfect. We were just trying to get things back to zero again so that we can continue on, but very happy with things. And I hope you guys enjoy this video, and we will see you in a few more days with the next one. Bye guys.